Hi, friend. Tonight I took a walk around my room and I found some objects that looked a little bit stressed out. So I thought you and I could help them talk through their issues, give them a bit of a massage to release some of that tension that they're feeling and get them feeling better and sending them on their way. So we're going to start here with my good friend Ted. Now, Ted and I were talking, and as I tell you what has been ailing him, I'm going to start to press out some of the tension here on his front and work down his spine as well. But my friend Ted here was telling me that he feels like he has a lot to offer people, but people aren't always willing to, take a look inside of him, because it takes a lot of effort to deep dive and really get to know what is on the inside of some people. So he said sometimes he feels like people aren't really willing to get to know him and to give him a chance and find out what is inside of him. So we're going to help him relax a little bit tonight by pressing out some of this tension that he's been feeling. We're on his back now, just kind of working this out, and then we're going to go on his spine here, kind of push this all the way up, and push this all the way up, and push this all the way up. We'll do a little bit more work here on his back. Here we go, over on this side now. There we are. Flip him over, and we'll do a little bit of this for him. Yes, there we go, excellent. He's saying that feels excellent. Good, and then one more time down his spine here. Down his spine again here. And there we go. I'm sure Ted is feeling much better, and he says thank you for your help tonight, helping him relax. So there is him sorted. Now, let's see who else might need our help tonight, alright? This here, this is Ted. And Ted and I were talking earlier today just about how he feels as though he's always getting lured into fishy situations. And I'm sure through no fault of his own, but one way or the other, he always feels as though he's being lured into fishy situations. So we're going to see what we can do for our friend Ted here tonight. See if we can't help him relax and forget some of his worries. So we'll start here, kind of on his head, and we'll work that with my finger right here. He's not very big, so won't take too much pressure, won't take too much effort. There we go. Sometimes I wonder how some of these little guys end up with so much stress and anxiety inside of them when they're so teeny tiny. But everyone's fighting a battle, Everyone is doing their best to manage themselves and manage their emotions, so I get it. It's not easy. It's easy to let it overwhelm you and have it kind of take over your life a little bit, but that's why we're here today. That's why we help each other out. And that's sometimes why we go for a massage, right? So, alrighty, up on his tongue now, we're going to do a little bit of motion around like this. There we go. Now from the other side. There we are. Alrighty. How does that look? You think Ted looks a little better? A little bit more relaxed? A little bit less stressed? Yeah, I think so. That's excellent. There you go, Ted. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Alrighty, let's see who else is here with us. This is a great friend of mine. We met back in uni, actually. But this is my good friend, Ted. And Ted said that he can't really quite put a finger on it, what it is, but something has just been eating him up inside. So we're going to see if we can help alleviate some of that stress, some of that tension, some of that pressure, some of that anxiety that Ted is feeling. Alright, so we're going to start by just kind of gripping here. There we go. Just kind of feeling where he's tight, where he needs a little more attention. There we go, there we go. You know, that's a hard one when you just have that something deep inside of you kind of gnawing at you, eating at you a little bit. Sometimes that can be hard to place, but Ted is here now, and we're going to be able to fix him up nice and good. So, near his lid here, I'm going to spend some time, because I can feel it's kind of jagged, it's a little bit tense up top here on these ridges, so spend some time pushing some of that out and around, hopefully moving it around to the back here. Then we'll try it around this way. There we go. Excellent. Okay, that top part's feeling much better. I'm going to start here. Kind of press this top part out a little bit. Get a little bit of this going for him. Yeah, okay. Very good, very good. Okay, yeah, he says he likes that. He says that feels nice. That's good. Alright. And then around his base here, kind of similar to the top. Just pressing this around. There we go. Alleviating some of that tension, pushing it out, because he doesn't need to be hanging on to all that, you know? There we go. Alright, and then let's just feel around him again. Make sure that we're feeling much more relaxed, less tension going on. There we go. Alright, feeling better, Ted? Awesome, dude. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Glad we could set you straight. Excellent. Alrighty. Let's see who else needs our attention today. Alright, here we go. This is Ted. And Ted came in today because he just said that he's feeling like people always throw him away. You know, they're always trying to distance themselves from him. They're always trying to drive him away and put that distance between them. So we're going to do a little bit of tapping on Ted here to kind of help him relax, release some of that anxiety, maybe some of that anxiousness going on, and help him realize that even if people are pushing him away and throwing him away, maybe those aren't the people that he needs to be keeping around in his life. And it's best to focus on the people that keep him close and treat him right and make sure that he feels as though he has value. So there we go. Around the outer edges of Ted here. Very good. Kind of scratching this a little bit. Excellent. I'm sure that feels wonderful. Very good. We'll pull this from the top down. There we go. From the top down. Top down. Top down. Top down. There we go. Alright, and we'll kind of in and out a little bit here. There we go. Stretch him out a little bit. That way he's not so tense and tight. Excellent. One more time here for Ted. There we go. Alright. He's feeling much more relaxed, much less stressed. Thank you, Ted. I'm glad we were able to help you out tonight. There we go. Alright, alright. Here we go. I think this is a relative of another friend that we've helped out. This is Ted. Ted just has a lot of tension going on. You can see he has the problem of always being kind of closed off. Always kind of closed off. Always kind of just tight and maybe in his own head a little bit. So we're going to help him stretch it out, release some of that. You can see he's carrying a lot of that tension right in here. So we're going to see if we can get in there and work that out a little bit. There we go. Stretch out a little bit. Excellent. Very good. And you can kind of see his teeth are bared and that kind of defensive kind of way. So we're hoping to soften that exterior a little bit by stretching him out, getting him nice and relaxed, and making sure that he's comfortable and doesn't need to be holding on to all that stress and all that anxiety. There we go. Alrighty. Let's open him up one more time here. Nice and wide. There we go. Excellent. Good stretch. And nice and slowly close. There we go. We'll get in back here just a little bit, just to make sure that that point right there that's carrying a lot of that tension gets enough attention, some attention for the tension. A point of contention with some tension that needs attention. There we go. Look, Ted's opening up much easier now. Very nice. And his teeth are still out, but now I like to think they're in a smile. There we are. Very good. Alright. Now what is next? Who is next? Let's see. Alright. This next friend, it may surprise you, but his name is Ted. And Ted here said that sometimes it's hard for him to open up. Sometimes it's hard for him to open up because he's so popular. He's a popular guy. He's very well known, but sometimes that leads to him being misunderstood and maybe taken on the surface level. So he has a hard time opening up. So we're going to help him here. We're going to take our friend Ted, and we're going to just nice and easy, slowly stretch this out. There we go. Nice and slow until he's all the way open. There we go. And then close him back up. Nice and slowly. Very good. Very good. Give him a little bit of a squeeze here on his different sides. Squeeze out some of that tension, because there's a lot of pressure that comes with it when being so popular, so widely known and beloved, maybe even. So let's help Ted open up one more time. That way he's nice and relaxed. There we go. We'll stretch this out. Nice and open, nice and easy. Very good. Very good. And we'll close Ted back up. There we go. Excellent. Alright, feeling better, Ted? Yeah, alright. Awesome, bro. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Alright, here. Next we have a trio of friends here. We have Ted, Ted, and Ted. And the three Teds here came to me saying that they were kind of struggling lately because they feel like they have so many different balls in the air. They're juggling so much, and they're kind of stressed because everything's just up in the air. There's so much going on, so many balls to keep track of. So here we are. I'm going to give them a nice squeeze to try and help them relax. We'll start with Ted number 1. There we go. Get his 4 sides. Very nice. Excellent. Ted number 1. Getting Ted number 2 here. His 4 sides as well. Excellent for Ted number 2. And Ted number 3. His side number 1. Side number 2. Squeezing out, pressing out some of that tension. Side number 3 and 4. There we go. Alright. I know it's very easy in today's world to feel like you're being thrown around and you're keeping track of so much going on all at once, but it's times like these where it's nice, where we can just take a moment, kind of relax and de-stress. So, thank you, Teds. Hope you're feeling much better. Alright, we've got one more friend here with us that I think has a bit of a unique situation. We're going to bring him in here. This right here. This is Ted. I know. I just, great name, Ted. I love the name Ted. It's a great name. So here we have Ted. Now, Ted was talking to me earlier about how sometimes it's hard to be seen, and how you can often find yourself falling by the wayside, sometimes in groups, or falling behind the scenes in projects, and how sometimes you don't feel like you're being seen. So we brought in Ted today to try to remedy that problem. So we're going to do a little bit of massaging on Ted. There we go, to try to help him relax and feel better. All the way, there we go. Very nice, very nice, very nice. There we go. I'm seeing some tension up here. Let's try to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Here we are. Very nice. A little more here for you. Excellent. Alright, let's get you reset, Ted. Feeling nice and good. There we are. Alright, a little more right here for you, perhaps. Excellent. And here. Alrighty. Ted, we see you, man. We see you. We appreciate you and we love you. You feeling better? Excellent. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you big time. Alrighty, friend. And you as well. I appreciate you big time. Thank you so much for being here tonight to help these items de-stress, relax, feel seen, and get the support that they really deserve. So, thank you so much. I hope you found some of this relaxing as well, and I hope you're nice and ready for bed. Good night, friend.